Be ready? Start. The Environment Protection Act 1986 was enacted pursuant to the decision that was taken at the United Nations Conference on Human Environment, which was held at the Stockholm in June 1972. There was an urgent need to enact a general legislation to address the issues of environment safety was felt necessary. In accordance with the Environment Protection Act of 1986, the Environment Ministry created the Coastal Regulation Zone rules in February 1991. The notification of the rules was issued in 2011. In 2018, the government released the Coastal Regulation Zone Notification 2018 to lift building limitation, speed up the clearance procedure, and boost tourism in coastal areas. The coastal of seas, bays, estuaries, creeks, rivers, and back areas which get influenced by the tidal action up to the 500 meters from high tide line and land between low tide line and the high tide line have been declared as Coastal Regulation Zone 1991. The Coastal Regulation Zone have been declared by the Union Environment Ministry. Implementation is to be ensured by the state government through their coastal zone management authorities. Para STL means the line on the land up to which the highest water line reaches during the spring tide. LTL similarly, it means the line on the land up to the which the lowest water line reaches during the spring tide. Spring tides, the position of both the sun and the moon in relation to the earth has directed bearing on tide height. When the sun, the moon, and the earth are in a straight line, the height of the tide will be higher. These are called spring tides and they occurs twice a month, one on full moon period and another during new moon period. Para protection of ecology sensitive areas like mangroves, coral reefs which act as a shield against tsunami and cyclone, improving the lives of coastal communities like fishing communities, resilient measures for mitigating impacts of climate change and high intensity cyclones to balance development with conservation of the coastal environment. In India, the Coastal Regulation Zone of rules govern human and industrial activity close to the coastline in order to protect the frangal ecosystems near the sea. They restrict certain kinds of activities like large construction, setting up of new industries, storage or disposal of hazardous material, mining, reclamation, and building within a certain distance from the coastline. Para, the first of the notification was issued in the year 1991. The Coastal Regulation Zone Notification 1991 was notified exercising the powers conferred under Section 3.1 and 3.2 of EPA and Rule 5.2 of the rules. The central government has placed a certain restriction on setting up and expansion of industries, operation of industries or processes from operating in specific locations. Notification of 1991 is applicable to the coastal stretches of seas, bays, estuaries, creeks, rivers, and backwaters influenced by the tidal action up 500 meters from high tide line and land between low tide line. It mandates the state governments and the union territories to draw up the Coastal Zone Management Plan to identify and classify the coastal regulation zone within their respective territories. Powers were also vested under the notification of 1991 to the state government, union territories, and local authorities to regulate developmental activities within the CRZ. The notification of 1991 mandated obtaining the permission of Ministry of Environment and Forest, Government of India for specific types of projects which include the construction activities related to defense requirement, operational constructions for ports and harbors and lighthouses, thermal power plants and many other activities with investment over and above rupees 5 crores. Stop.